Okay, so I am broadcasting from my office today because I have a package that's arriving sometime in the next 90 minutes, and my normal room is upstairs, and I figured it'd come down here. The link to join is in the chat for anybody that wants to join. We'll see how long we go today. I know this summer's been a little crazy with everybody doing their own thing. But we got Miss Martin in the chat. I don't know if you're still here, but congrats on becoming monetized. So yeah, so those watching, you probably saw the new Snow White article that just came out today, and it's interesting because it looks hideous. Now, take it for what it's worth. Pilates, we'll see we'll see. I don't know how many people we're going to have, if anybody else is going to join today. I haven't heard from Roman. I haven't heard from PJ. I haven't heard from Ian. So we'll see. But supposedly there was an article that came out from the Daily Mail this morning with a picture of the new cast of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And honestly, it looks hideous. It looks like a dumpster fire. But according to the Daily Beast, and again, take it for what it's worth, it's the Daily Beast, it says it's fake. So we don't know. Not a word. Good to see you. So part of the reason I'm waiting downstairs for the package is because I am flying to Philadelphia on Monday. I'm heading off to vacation. Going out to see my classmates. I am going to be going down to the Jersey Shore next week, or a week from tomorrow. But I will be in Philly for a week. I'm going up to New York City for a day next Wednesday. I'm going to try and maybe do some live streaming up there, maybe some more like recording videos and doing something up there, maybe putting together a little New York City package. I'm actually excited because it's been 20 years since I've been to New York. Well, maybe not 20 years, but I was ordained in 2008, and I remember going up to the city one last time before I came back home because I wasn't going to be able to get to New York as much anymore. So my classmates' parish is not too far from the train line, and I'm going to hop up to the city for a day. So I'm actually really excited because the nerd part of me is looking forward to visiting the Intrepid Museum for the first time. And basically, it's a World War II aircraft carrier that also houses the space shuttle, and I think it's the Enterprise, but it also has the Concorde on there. So it will be interesting to see it. But anyway, let's look at this article from the Daily Beast. So I'm still trying to understand this. Basically, this is the image here. Now, that looks real. I don't know how it says it's fake, but politically correct dwarf actors pictured. The only problem is the photos aren't legit. When asked by the Daily Beast for comment on the Daily Mail's article, which touts photos of what it claims is Snow White cast, the Disney spokesperson said the photos are fake and not from our production. We're currently trying to have a Daily Mail issue a correction. Let's see that. Nope, that won't bring it up. Here, we'll have to do that this way. Okay, so it's bringing up the tweet in another browser. Another window, we'll do this. Okay, let's see how that looks. Paulo Minion is in the chat. Good to see you. Kelly Lynch is in the chat. Good to see you too. Chris Sonmouth, good to see you. Yeah, Miss Martin sent out a tweet this morning saying she's monetized. So congrats on that. When I started this channel back 3 years ago, my goal was hopefully maybe getting monetized. But to be honest, I don't have the time now to work on it as much as I used to, and I'm fine with that. This is the only time I'm really going to get away to have some fun this coming 2 weeks, because after I get back from Philly, we got about another 2 weeks before school starts. So I'm going to be pretty busy getting lessons revamped because I'm teaching history for the first time in about it's probably about 7-8 years since I last taught church history. So I'm really looking forward to it. Let's see. Megan Kelly had a snarky comment about this garbage. She said something about how, in the name of protecting little people, they're losing their jobs. I gotta admit, one of my comedians I love, I probably shouldn't admit it, is a guy by the name of Brad Williams. Short little guy. Definitely not family friendly. He's a little person. I was debating playing some of his stuff on this when I was talking about the article, but I decided I can't get away with it. Ian, good to see you.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm okay.
So, did you see the article from the Daily Mail?
No, I just who's making this?
This is supposedly the new Snow White.
Who's making it?
I don't remember. Let me see if we could go back. I think Disney is doing it.
Disney?
Well, yeah, because it's a Disney live action remake.
Well, it explains that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Explains why it looks awful.
But the thing is, this article says it was a fake photo.
Oh, well, if it's a fake photo, then it's a fake photo. But if Disney is making something like this and it looks exactly like that, then it's really funny how they're puzzled why their films are not making any money, isn't it? So it makes.
So how are you?
I'm okay. How are you? You okay?
I just finished season 4 of Dallas. I figured I might keep you updated on that. We just got through the JR divorce trial. So I've actually been enjoying it. They're a bunch of horrible people. All of them. Miss Ellie's a horrible person.
Yeah. She drinks a lot.
That's the thing I kept thinking. Every time they show the pictures, and I know you toured the South Fork.
Yeah.
But did you get to go inside the mansion?
Yeah. Went in everywhere. Yeah. So it's not as big as you think it is. Like, the swimming pool area where they have breakfast in the morning. Well, the guy that was the woman that was the tour guide was saying that they used to put a mirror in between the swimming pool to make the swimming pool look bigger than it was, because the swimming pool's quite small. So yeah, there were lots of trickery. And also the Baron's Ball. I thought it was in some place in Dallas, in the city, but it isn't. It's within that area. They've got a huge room where they do the Baron's Ball there. So it's very interesting. As a kid, though, I remember being glued to Dallas as a kid.
I'll be honest. I gotta answer Kelly Lynch. I remember watching it. I mean, I really haven't sat down and watched it since it went off the air 30 years ago.
Mm.
I still remember the finale of JR committing suicide.
Yeah. Well,
Spoiler alert.
well, so I'll tell you what happened, right? Me and my sister, we booked the Dallas tour and the JFK tour before we flew into Dallas. And we had to be at a certain place for the Dallas tour. And when we got there, we were expecting a lot of people there, but it was just me and my sister. And the guy came out in his van and he said, "Oh, are you the Diaz's?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, well, we've been expecting." I said, "Is there anybody else?" He goes, "No, it's just you two." So it was really cool because he drove us there and he was talking about the show and everything, and it was just us two in this huge van. But what was interesting, what he said was they made a pilot. The pilot was so successful that and then I made the first season, but at the end of the first season, obviously, I think JR got shot, and they didn't know whether
No, that's 3. I just finished that one recently.
Right. So, but I think it was the first season when I didn't think they were going to go for another season, and Larry Hagman knew it was going to be a hit, and and Larry Hagman asked for a pay rise, and they wouldn't give him the pay rise, right? So what he did was, because they were going to get rid of him, so what he did was he basically flew from Dallas to live in England because he knew Europe was big with Dallas. And he just went on tour and he was talking to loads of people and stuff. And he was on Wogan and stuff like that. They were asking if he's coming back. And he said he didn't know. Everywhere he went, he got mobbed by the crowd and everything. So it kind of forced the producers to actually, hire him back because he was one of the most popular characters in the show. So that was quite interesting, I found.
So I got to ask, do you ever see Larry Hagman's one of his first films from the 1960s called Failsafe?
No. No. Is it good? I haven't seen it.
It's one of the few books I've read that the movie is very faithful to it, almost exactly. Basically, let me see if I can find the trailer. I better not play the trailer. I haven't had much luck with that. But what happens, it's kind of like it was made around the same time as Doctor Strangelove. This was the more serious version of it.
Right.
Same plot type thing where Bomber accidentally gets the launch code and tries to go into the Soviet Union. And Henry Fonda is the president. Larry Hagman is the translator for the Russians.
Right.
And they're trying to prevent the bombing from happening.
Oh.
And it's not a comedy. Walter Matthau's in it. Really good movie. They redid it about 20 years ago with George Clooney.
All right.
And it was a live thing on TV.
Because before Larry Hagman and Walter Matthau became the comedic actors that we know of, they were considered serious actors. Walter Matthau starred in a lot of serious
Leslie Nielsen.
roles. Yeah, Leslie Nielsen as well. But Larry Hagman ended up in I Dream of Jeannie, and they didn't want to cast him as JR because they thought that people couldn't take him seriously because he was a comedic actor. But when they cast him, and he didn't want to do it either, but his wife read the script and said to him, "You know what? This character's amazing. You probably love to hate him." And then he decided to do it. So, but they still wanted to get rid of him because he was asking for a pay rise. Because he knew his character was popular, even though it was one of those very first time when, or one of those rare moments when the audience hated but loved one of the characters. And so, yeah, he was kind of lucky that way, I guess. But that's what the tour guide said anyway. So, nice. But yeah, I liked Dallas when I was a kid.
Well, the strike that's going on, there's a lot of old TV to watch.
Yes, the actors have gone on strike now, haven't they? So
I saw that Deadpool 3 has shut down.
Yeah, so we got the writers and the actors that are on strike. We have Hollywood or wokewood that won't admit that they're woke and destroying entertainment as we know it with their garbage, as you guys would say, because I would say rubbish. And Hollywood is now grinding to a halt.
I think I could probably say, since it's not really an American word, but I could say bollocks.
yeah, you could say that. but yeah, so I don't know what's happening with Hollywood, and it's obvious what obviously I saw a video that Gary did, and he was talking about he's reading all these articles, and he was saying, but nobody's mentioning, why these things are not working. Everybody knows, but no one wants to mention it. See, that's how tight these fanatics have got Hollywood wrapped up, haven't they? They even got power in the media, but it's obvious what's happening, and the sooner they confront that and disregard that, the better it will be for them. But they're stubborn, so.
Well, too bad it doesn't affect Doctor Who.
You're obviously joking.
I watched a good part of Dan's stream yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't care that Nuki is in Barbie. It just, a pink TARDIS seems to be an abomination.
I said in the green room, I said I think it's insidious what they're doing. So allowing Ncuti to be dressed as, I don't know, some kind of weirdo. Obviously, he's dressed as he's obviously there's nothing. Look, I haven't got
Doctor Who or Barbie.
Well, what he was dressed in at the Barbie screening, which was ridiculous to say the least, but it's obvious what they're trying to do. Disney, they're trying to obviously groom kids through their content, and the more Ncuti does what he does, the more they're trying to persuade young kids that this is normal. But I look, to some extent, I don't care, but I think young kids shouldn't be subjected to this. I think they should grow up like kids, and then they can decide what they want to do. But these factions these people seem to want to groom them now when they're young, so they could be brainwashed. Do you know what I mean? Believing that this is all good. If you know what I mean.
Got a picture of his Barbie poster. So I'm on my school laptop right now.
Are you?
Because like I was saying at the beginning, I'm expecting UPS to show up with a package that I need before I fly out on vacation. But I mean,
I don't really care about this film, and I don't really care about shooting. I think I always say this. I don't believe in race swapping. I'll say that till when it comes to entertainment. Doctor Who, the Doctor, in my opinion, should not be black. Right? Black people should have characters created for them. They shouldn't be given what is essentially a white character and then suddenly make them black. I don't think that's right at all.
Well, I know next Friday Oppenheimer comes out, and I was really looking forward to seeing it, and I don't know if I'm going to now after this article I read.
What does it say? Oppenheimer features a prolonged nudity by. Yeah, I heard about that. And have you heard that all the actors walked out as well? They didn't
with the strike.
Film. Yeah, with the strike, they all walked out. But I've kind of gone off Christopher Nolan's movies. I think Christopher Nolan is trying to be too clever, and he's forgetting about entertainment. I'm not saying this film is not going to be entertaining. I'm pretty sure it's going to be, but the subject matter for me is not an interesting one. So I'm not going to rush to the cinema to see this. I don't like films that basically have actors in it and it comes across as pretentious or very elitist. Like, for instance, remember that film with the girl who played Black Widow and the guy that played Kylo Ren?
Oh yeah, the divorce movie, wasn't it?
Yeah. I couldn't watch that because those two were in it.
I never did.
And that was the thing. I couldn't watch it. If it was two ordinary people, two other actors that I had never heard of, I might have watched it. But for this, it just seems to come across as, and I saw a bit of it. I saw a clip from it on some show, and it just seemed like they were trying to act each other off the screen, and it just felt wrong. It didn't feel authentic. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think they did that in the 70s with Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor.
Oh, is it a remake?
I don't know, but it was basically divorce from his side and her side.
Yeah. No, I don't know. But I got some good news though. Good news that Mission Impossible 7 is really good. So there you go.
I haven't seen the first one.
I mean, well, you don't have to. That's the thing. You don't have to see any of them. They're all standalone films. It's really good. It's really edge of your seat stuff, and it's fantastically done as well. So
Well,
You
I
know,
saw the Napoleon trailer yesterday, and it looks really good.
yeah. Who's in that again?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh,
Joaquin or
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. And who? There's a woman in, isn't it? A famous woman. I can't
That one I
remember.
don't know.
Oh, right. Okay. So interesting. Lucky that I made that before the strike. Finished it before the riot. But the thing is that I don't see how this is going to be resolved. Every country now everybody's on strike. You know why? Because the people that are in power, they've become even more greedier, if that's a word. You know, the politicians over here, there's the NHS is on, most of the doctors are on strike.
Oh, I didn't know
The
that.
Yeah, the railway people are on strike. What else is on strike? Every like loads of people are on strike in this country because the government and the people that work for the government, they're greedy. They've been scooping up money and putting it in their own pockets for years now. And obviously the media is not reporting it, but it is true. Do you know what I mean? And the ball face of them to come and stand there and go, we can't give, you know, the doctors their 6% that they want. It's ridiculous. And they've been, and you know, I mean, how can the prime minister sympathize with people who are poor when he is rich himself? Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean? I just don't understand the logic behind voting him in. Then again, there wasn't anyone else to vote in, I guess. I don't know.
I'm just updating something.
Mm. What
Let's
about
see.
what's happening with your president
Oh,
and Trump? Is Trump running again? I don't know.
I, I, I got to be careful what I say, but I just want somebody under 60 to run.
I just think the world's gone a bit crazy now. You know, never in the history of anything would you think there'd be two people that were unsuited for the job. That would be Boris and yeah,
Is
and
Boris actually running again?
I have no idea, and I don't really care. I don't vote because I think it's pointless. I think what needs to happen is overthrow of the government. That's what needs to happen.
Let
You
me
know.
see if I can find the. Because I actually do enjoy watching the BBC when they do the election night.
Yeah, the BBC is corrupt as I can't
Oh
say the
yeah,
word.
I
Yeah,
know, I
yeah,
know.
they're so corrupt. They got some. Have you heard about the one of the presenters?
I heard a little bit about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
They,
don't know what exactly he did, but I can
let's
imagine.
yeah. Look, I'll always say this, right? The BBC. That's when that was during the 80s and the 70s when they used to
Oh,
have
but
that up.
this is. Let's see what
Mm.
this one is.
This is BBC One.
Oh, gold. 83.
I was
83.
looking for the 79 one.
All right. The BBC.
But I never understood the swing and the. Oh, where is it? Come on. Gains and losses. So is that just by how much it happened, or
Don't know. I
okay?
I've never been interested in politics at all, but more so than ever, I'm beginning to realize that these people are kind of evil, really. Let's
Well,
face it, you know.
let me see if I can find my picture. I'll show you my little touch in politics. This is going back a long ways. Because my last job I had before the seminary was working for a political consulting firm.
Oh.
Let's see if I can find it. I'm looking on Facebook for this right now. Oh, looks like I'm gonna have to dig into one of the folders.
What are you looking for?
My touch with a politician.
You actually touched
Here
a
we go.
politician?
Yeah, actually I did. I'll show you the picture of it. Here we go. Oops. There we go.
Oh dear. You look very young there.
That was 2000.
How was it?
Yeah, that was 20. No, that was 99. That was before the caucus. So that would have been 24 years ago.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, he wasn't very clever, was he, that one?
Yeah, but when it was up against Al Gore and John Kerry, I will admit I voted for him.
The thing is, though,
Because
why do we have bad choices when it
we
comes
really
to
haven't had a
politicians?
we haven't had a really good choice. And honestly, I will say Trump was not my first choice.
Mm.
I actually might go third party this year.
I don't even know why people vote. It's obvious that they're fleecing everybody, all those people. So I don't understand why, this unless unless someone overthrows the government, things are not going to change. You'll always
But we
have
can't.
greedy people.
We do not condone that on this channel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Nor do I. But that's the only conclusion I can see at this moment in time. How are you going to stop these people from ripping people off? It's crazy.
So I gotta take a quick look outside because it looks like my package is almost here.
Oh, okay.
Let me just open my door and I will be right back.
All right,
I'm
no worries.
gonna kill my camera. There we go. Okay, let me go check outside.
Yeah.
I can hear you still.
Oh, okay. Oh, hello. Who's in the chat then? Kelly?
Okay, it's not here yet.
Yes, Uncle. Ian, everyone, and his uncle is running for president. Yeah. Pretty, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just keeping an eye on this thing. So,
What
I'm going to Philadelphia next week.
Oh, cool.
And the week on Wednesday, I'm going up to New York City for a day.
All right. Okay. Why are you going to Philadelphia?
Well, my classmate is from out there.
Right. Okay. All right.
And I actually am hoping to meet up with Father Sinatra.
Oh, right. Yeah. I like him.
He's down in Jersey, and we're going to be going down to the Jersey Shore for a few days down at the ocean. So, yeah.
Are you going to run up those rocky stairs when you get to Philadelphia?
If I was in shape, maybe. But honestly, I've seen the rocky stairs. I used to go biking down by there.
All right.
You always kind of have to laugh when you see people running up the steps. Because you would see that. I mean, you would just see tourists running up the steps. I lived in Philly for 4 years when I was in school.
But I mean, it's obviously a famous because of Rocky. It's a famous landmark, so people do
it is. And I mean, they got the statue. They moved it from the top of the steps to the bottom.
All right, okay.
It's right off to the side as you're taking one of the turns around the park.
So I guess when you think of Philadelphia, I guess you think of three people. You think of Will Smith, right? You
Not
think
really.
of before you slap someone, that is. Rocky.
Nah, even before then, I don't.
Oh, really? Because he's
don't care.
And I think it's the boss, right? What's his name?
Springsteen.
Springsteen. Is Springsteen from Philadelphia?
Springfield.
Springsteen.
No, he's from Jersey.
Oh, okay. I was up in Jersey a couple of years ago for a festival, New Jersey Festival. I was up there. Yeah.
No, the ones I usually think of is Ben Franklin.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, when we do, oh, by the way, isn't Gary meant to be coming to London soon?
This fall, actually next month. Is it next month?
September, he said to me.
Okay.
It's what is it? July? Yeah,
14th.
August. I don't think it's August. I think it's September. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he'll announce it though. when he
As
does.
Cat in Philly says, we do not claim Springsteen.
Okay. Well, I didn't. I thought he was from Philadelphia, but
his whole big thing is Jersey.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and that's the thing, as Cat says, people still run up the steps and get pictures. And yeah, as Cat would know, there's a big roundabout in front of the art museum, and I'll be honest, I never got the hang of it. It's like 4 or 5 lanes.
Yeah.
4 or 5 different circles. Out here, we're lucky if we just have one circle, which is more than enough.
It's good though. I mean, it was a good film for its time, Rocky, and the sequels as well. So, yeah. At least you got something that Philadelphia that somebody, a lot of the people.
Well,
around
the other
world-
one is M. Night Shyamalan.
Which one? Okay.
Signs. Oh, let's see. We got Roman's here.
Long time
Good to
no
see
Hello,
ya.
see.
Father. Hi, Ian. I know. It's like a not so good Elvis sighting.
How are you?
Here we go.
I'm well. How have you guys been?
All right. I've been fine.
Father, you got a new office? What's going on there? You have a different angle going
So-
on? I'm very confused and frightened.
No. I basically am waiting for a package from UPS to arrive. That's why I'm downstairs in my office right now because it's supposed to. It says it's like 6 stops away.
Your office looks
So-
like some kind of lawyer den. That's what it looks like.
Well,
It does. It's like, I'm not just a man of God. Do you need a divorce attorney? I'm joking. I
no,
kid.
well,
I
yeah,
kid.
I know. So basically, what it is I have my college degree, I have my pre-theological degree, and then I have 2 masters. So I have a master's of divinity and a master of arts degree.
Oh.
Wow.
But the big thing
Father's
behind
all
me is
fancy. He's been holding out on us, I think.
well, the big thing behind me next to the sword is papal blessing from Pope Benedict.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
very nice. Wow.
Yep. That means you're blessed, mate. That's what it means.
I got a new Batman figure. I mean, that's
Nice.
You're blessed too.
Okay, I'm gonna step away for a second because I see I'm the next stop, so I'm gonna take a look.
All right. How
So
does
I'm
he
still
know that?
listening.
Oh, so,
Oh, okay. Well, there goes my plan, Father.
but
Oh.
is he following something on the computer? I
you can
I must
track.
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's tracking I'm assuming it's like an Amazon thing coming in because you can
Right.
track when those are showing up. So, like we just got a Blondie record today. I was pretty excited. It's the best of Blondie.
Oh,
It's
I
the
love
one
that.
It's the one that everybody had growing up. I think I've mentioned it before. We're in like a big vinyl phase right now. Did your package shut up? Yay! Is it something good? I hope it's something good.
Well, it is sunglasses
That's
because
pretty
I'm
good.
going to be at the ocean. I need something to protect the eyes.
Wait, which I clearly missed
Atlantic.
the early part of the conversation. Atlantic.
So I'm
okay,
going to Philly next week, and then I'm going down to Jersey Shore.
Hold on.
wow, right on.
Hold on, Father. So are they prescription sunglasses? Or do
No,
you just
these
put
are
it
ones that
over?
go over the other glasses.
Oh, I see.
So-
Oh, right. Look, he looks so cool. Actually, he
You
looks
look
like
like
a
a
villain.
Terminator. I
Yeah, he
like
looks
it.
like a villain.
So
Wow.
Oh, very good.
yes, it's either the $20 sunglasses or the $300 prescription ones.
All right, let's get to business. What do we think of Indy 5 then, guys? Let's
Never
go
saw
back
it.
in time. Never saw it?
I didn't see it. I didn't see that, and I didn't see the Flash, and I
Ah.
have no regrets. I'm a
Yeah.
man with many regrets, but those 2 films are not part of them.
Oh, okay. Well done, guys. That's it's a great it's a
It's like
good move.
I came here to talk pop culture. You didn't
No.
see any pop culture. What
No.
am I going to do?
No, but I'm proud that you didn't go and see it because I didn't want to go and see it, but my friend wanted to see it, so I was dragged with her.
Oh,
So-
I didn't want to do the cocaine. My friend wanted
No,
to do the cocaine. And
no,
I
well,
know it's not analogous. I know.
I didn't have a choice really.
Wait,
So-
now it is kind of back to the same thing. I'm actually retracting that earlier
So I
retraction.
will. Oops, I got Cat's comment. I will show you what I bought on Amazon for Prime Day.
Go on in. What did you buy?
It was 20
all of them?
bucks. 20
Oh.
bucks. No, the Superman complete animated series. It was on sale for 20
Oh,
bucks.
sweet.
20 bucks on Blu-ray.
I just ordered
Excellent.
my season 20 of Doctor Who. So
I
and it's
saw
got
that. It's
the
not.
5 doctors on it, and I can't wait. I just can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Imagine, when I was a kid, you watched it in crap vision, obviously, because it was like, what is it, analog TV. But now we're going to get that in a Blu-ray, and they've upscaled it. It's going to be awesome. So I can't wait for that to arrive. So,
So are you also waiting for season 13 to arrive? You did order that as well, I assume, right?
season 13? I don't think I.
Come on,
Hey.
I'm joking. I'm
Oh.
making jokes. I haven't been here for a little bit. I have a lot of humor to get in the amount of time that I'm
I
going to be here.
don't think season 13 is an option for me. So, so there you go.
So you did bring it. So you brought up Indiana Jones 5, and and I brought up The Flash because I'm a dummy and I had to throw one turd on top of the other turd. But so we were talking on my show last night. I am a man of a certain age.
Same here.
And looking back to young Roman of the Empire, it's 1989. You have the first Tim Burton Batman film out, which I don't think has aged very well, but I loved it back then, so that's not.
Oh, baloney! It is good. It was the first VHS I ever bought.
Well, like I said, back then I loved it. I just right now, older me just has a lot of let's call them issues because they are. And you had Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which is arguably the best of the films. That's my favorite of the films.
Yeah.
Now you fast forward, you go back in time. You go back in time to 1980 and you say, so look, there's gonna be a movie with Michael Keaton in it. He's gonna be playing Batman. Harrison Ford is still playing Indiana Jones. Both of these movies are going to be flops, and and most people are not going to enjoy this. And younger you is going to look at like you have a third eye or possibly a horn. It's just amazing to me from that era to this era how much things have changed. I mean, a lot of it is oversaturation of the market and superhero stuff, but I think moreover it's an oversaturation of bad stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, looking from 1989 to now, when those movies were fresh and new and exciting, to now, and it's like, I'm going to catch it when it comes on for free.
I still get goosebumps at this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
I remember watching this film in the cinema when it was first released.
There we go.
And I remember being in the cinema and they had the bat sign on the screen before the film had started, and I remember being very excited about
you're right. It was a goosebumpy feel. I went out and I bought that soundtrack on CD back in the day just because it was such a driving, fantastic piece of music. And they used that. I think they did use that for the animated series for a while as well.
Yeah, they did.
When the original animated series came out.
You mean the one with Mark Hamill as the Joker?
Yes.
I don't.
Kevin
No,
Conner.
Well, I
had the box set. I don't remember hearing that Burton version.
Yeah, but they used a version with obviously the music was definitely influenced by Danny Elfman in the cartoon. It wasn't fully the theme.
Okay.
But the whole thing was influenced by Tim Burton's version of Batman, and this is the first time we actually got Batman serious, and that's one of the reasons why it's such a huge success. And I remember when I first heard the film was getting made, and then I forgot about it, and I was walking down the road and I saw the poster on a bus shelter, and all it had was the bat sign in it. No date, no nothing. That was just enough for me to go, I want to see this film. Do you know? So today it's different. It's oversaturated with too many films, and you just think, well, I'll see that when it comes on TV.
Yeah. That's totally the way I feel about these things now. I
tried watching
even Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I tried watching the Sparkles Batman movie. Whatever is Patterson's version. I got maybe 3 minutes into it. I turned it off and I turned on 89.
You see, the Batman, right? It suffers from the sheen of wokeness, right? And it's a shame how people don't. Yeah, it's a shame people don't see it. But just the thought, just the sequence at the ending actually tells you that it was governed by people who were into the woke stuff. Batman does not solve anything in that film whatsoever. The Riddler does this huge speech about privileged people towards the ending, and and so does Batgirl. Sorry, so does Catwoman as well to Batman when she doesn't even know who Batman is. So. The sheen was on there. It looked great. There were some nice moments in it, but the film failed for me because it was too long. Batman didn't do anything. The Bat car the chase was awful. It was just you might as well just watch Starsky and Hutch car chase. It was so rubbish. There was no fantastical elements in this film, which really annoyed me. And it was too long. That's why I didn't like it too much.
Yeah, there were parts of the movie that I enjoyed, and I have to say parts. Overall, I think it was not good. I'm going to be diplomatic, and I'm going to V-chip it for father.
Thank you.
That's what I'm here for. So there were, like I said, I thought the suit actually, surprisingly, I thought it looked kind of cool. I wish the symbol had been different, but it is what it is. And I actually enjoyed the beginning of the film a lot.
Yeah.
But I hated Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne a lot. And while I love Andy Serkis, I thought his age was just so inappropriate for Alfred. Yes. He was way too young to be Alfred. I think Michael Caine has been my favorite on-screen portrayal of Alfred because he's old enough and he's still capable. He's not, but he's not frail.
I can't think of who the guy was from the 89 version. But I mean, he was good, but he kind of had like the 66 version of Alfred.
Yeah.
Agreed.
They've never portrayed Alfred the way he is in the comics. Alfred is a guy with hardly any hair in his head. And he's got a moustache, and he's got
very dry humor.
Black. Yeah, dry humor. But they've always cast people that are old. They think they'll match. Like I mean, I did like what's his name? Alfred. What's his name? The guy who played Alfred in the Ben Affleck version. I liked him.
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons.
Oh yeah.
Still,
I agree.
Yeah, still he wasn't Alfred. He was Jerry Mines pretending to be Alfred, as far as I was concerned.
Which was fine. It was fine. I was willing to take that.
Also, right, what is the problem with designing a bat cowl that you can turn your head with? And so let's look at this logically, okay, right? So let's look at the Tim Burton one. Tim Burton wanted Batman to look like Batman, so therefore, when they made the rubber mask, they basically connected to the neck. So he couldn't move his neck, right? But and then when they did the Pattinson version, they gave him collars. And when they did what's his name? The Christian Bale version, they gave him like a metal rod thing in the neck and gave his mask separately. Why can't they design a Batman cowl with the neck so he can turn his head? Why isn't the neck part rubbery so he can turn his head left and right? It's not rocket science. They can do it. It's like
I think it's rocket science. I think you're incorrect. I think it's impossible.
No, of course not.
Clearly, it can't be done.
Okay, right. So if they can put prosthetics on someone's nose and face, and so they can move with that, they can do that with a mask.
Then it can be rubberized and still have.
They can do it. They can do it.
Have you seen? We've talked about this before. Batman Dead End. It was a fan film.
Yeah.
Done many moons ago, but it was a super comic book accurate suit for Batman.
Yeah.
That was a really good looking suit.
Yeah, but the thing is that you've got to find a middle ground between what was in the comics and what could be acceptable now. And I mean, the thing I hate about the way they portray Batman is they show his eyes, and this stupid idea that you have to see the expression on to understand what emotion they're going through. It's absolute nonsense, because you read Spider-Man comic and you hear what he's saying, obviously by writing, and you know what he's going through. You don't need to see the face to express an emotion. This is ridiculous.
That's something with Deadpool.
Yeah. So for me, right, if I was in charge of Batman, I would say those eyes have to be white. That's it. You cannot. And also, right, if the person has a very distinctive chin, you're going to guess who that person is. Ben Affleck's got a mole on his face, for crying out loud. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what? So I don't know. I just think.
Well, that's the thing. Again, this is the magical part, but it's like the thing that I always keep thinking of in Batman 66 with the Bat phone. It's like, okay, this is Bruce Wayne calling. This is Batman. It's like you can't tell the difference between the voice.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just picked this comic up when I was back home in Iowa about 2 weeks ago. Lois Lane number. What is?
I love the art in this. This is such
99. But I mean, that's the thing. Like I said, I mean, I have no desire for the new comics because I mean, it just
Yeah,
zooming in on it.
I mean, I do like the art in some of the modern books. My problem is both with DC and Marvel now and the comic book realm. I mean, I watch Gray over at Wakazashi's Tea House. That's usually he's your canary in the coal mine on comic books, because he finds, generally speaking, the good ones that are out there. But there are so many that are not, that have those elements of the things that we do not like in our entertainment, comic books, movies, music, the whole gambit. So I just stopped. I haven't bought anything new in years.
Nor have I.
As far as my comic book stuff goes. Anything I buy is usually a collective edition of, an older,
Well,
graphic novel, in that format now. It's just,
Robin,
where-
I don't
that's
know
where
if you
I've
would
ended
have heard one of the things I'm doing on Wednesday this coming week. I'm going up to New York City for the day, and I'm going to be making a pilgrimage to Midtown Comics
Oh, wow.
Where is
I've never
Midtown
been.
Comics?
in Manhattan.
Yeah.
There's
What,
like 3 locations in Manhattan. You got the one in Times Square. You got
right.
the one at Grand Central, which
Hmm.
it says Grand Central Station, but it's like a block north. It's actually near St. Patrick's Cathedral, so I'm going to go visit that too.
Right.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. Yeah, and that, I mean, things like, I mean, that's going to be so much fun, because that's a gold mine of the past, because that's
I hope.
where it all
Because
is.
you see, when I look on their website, it's like I have
Yeah.
pretty much all the stuff I already want, or it's
Oh.
beyond my price range.
Oh no, that's always a thing. I mean, it just,
Well, but
it's
the thing
the,
is, it was like 5 years ago they had a Black Friday sale. In the end, that's the day after Thanksgiving over here.
Mm.
And they had a bunch of the Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen comics on sale for 75% off. So I was loading up on normally priced $30, $40 comics, paying 75% off of that.
wow.
So I mean, I went nuts and I justified it.
I mean, I mean, I haven't collected comic. I've got all my comics in a cupboard under the stairs, right? And I haven't opened them in years, right? Because the comics that we know and love doesn't exist anymore. It really doesn't. And the last artist that I thought was absolutely brilliant was McFarlane. His art, I fell in love with his art. And beyond that, I just thought some of the artists weren't very good. For me, when I read a comic, it's always the art first, and then the story.
That's the draw.
Yeah.
That's the draw.
Yeah. So
See, that's the problem with the new Superman. The art is not good.
but because everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid, it's ridiculous. I mean, I look that what's his name? Gunn is making Superman. Was it Legacy?
Superman Legacy.
Legacy.
Yeah,
Right. And I look at the cover, and it looks like Superman's doing a poo on a cloud, and I'm like, why would you?
That's from All-Star Superman. That's
Well,
the book that they plucked it
Okay,
from.
well, it doesn't matter.
Which that's the cover.
Yeah, but why would you have a picture? If you look at all the other comics, Superman is a powerhouse. He's flying, or he's saving something, or do you know what I mean? And you have Superman sitting on a cloud. Come on,
I'm also they dropped a lot of hero names. I know you've got Nathan Fillion who's going to be playing Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
Fine. Some fellow is going to be Mr. Terrific, and some lady is going to be Hot Girl. I know Gunn. I do like James Gunn's films by and large. But, and I have to throw a but out here now, because we're dealing with a whole different critter than what he has produced thus far. The Guardians were generally an unknown faction. I mean, unless you were like a super nerd. And then there's the Suicide Squad, which again is pretty fringe material. But now you're dealing with, the big names.
Yeah.
And how much of this is going to be they're in the movie some, or is it going to be Superman ensemble? Because that's, what you're used to from Gunn. I don't really know. Yeah. I want the Gunn movies to be good, but it's just, oh dear. Uh-oh. She must have said one thing wrong. Too many times, it's over.
But I think Gunn is doing the wrong thing. I think anyone you hire in the Hollywood system that takes on DC or Marvel, they'll always do it wrong. What you have to do is you have to find a super fan that's basically got common sense. That's what you have to find, right? I thought Kevin Smith was going to be that person, but he isn't. He obviously isn't.
He self-destructed.
Yeah,
in a glorious fashion.
Yeah, but if I was in charge and I was going to make a Superman movie, the one thing I agree with Gunn is not to do his origin. Everybody knows his origin. I would not have any other heroes in it. I'd concentrate on Superman first. That's it.
Mhm.
If that is a success, then you move forward. You have to test the audience because everybody's saying that people are tired of superhero movies. So let's find out. Make Superman with just Lois Lane in it and all the persons that's connected with Superman. Then think about putting Hawk Girl and the Green Lantern. To me, he's just making the same mistake as the others have. This is what he's doing. So anyway, that's my opinion. Opinion.
That's all we have now. But the thing is, though, and you're right, though, if this were a different era, I know we might look at this differently. But the problem is, we've had these movies dumped on us.
Yeah,
for the last nearly 20 years now. Is what that's when Iron Man came out, and that was the genesis of this age of superhero films.
Yeah,
certainly was.
Not going back to the 1978 Chris Reeves movie, but the early 2000s is when these movies started, and they were good for a long time. I mean, but then there was the questionable Schneider films, which some people liked, some people didn't like, but almost everybody enjoyed having Henry Cavill as Superman, even though the film was you have definitely, two camps in that who liked it or didn't like it. But now I'm at the point where, and just like The Flash and Indiana Jones, my gaff level is kind of
Yeah,
it's coming out. Well, they have the writer's strike and the actor strike as well. So, I mean, a lot of the things we're talking about that have been floating in the air are now, when is it going to come out? What's, how long is this going to go on? What are the many what ifs?
I gotta ask. I know. Are you watching Secret Invasion or whatever that's called?
I have been enduring that.
I saw that
so that you don't have to. That's why I'm doing it.
I can't.
But I mean, I saw that they tried doing a Last of Us, the gay storyline. They tried doing that with Nick Fury and some character in the second episode.
No, that was mislabeled. That is not what they did with Fury. There is nothing.
I think the article I was reading was saying it was a missed opportunity. They were hoping that.
I'm glad they didn't.
It's almost to the point where it's kind of corrupting the earlier movies for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, so
that's dead.
I won't. It hurts me so much. Secret Invasion is not a good series.
Duh.
I can say that just very safely and plainly. Secret Invasion is not a good series. If you like Nick Fury in any of the MCU forms, you will not like him in this. What you are getting is old man Fury, except
what a surprise!
Not nearly as exciting or competent as like old man Logan. He is told in every episode by at least 3 people that he is old and useless.
And
3
he's
people
black
in every single epised. Well, obviously he's black because they have to tell you that.
Well, but that was the thing they were saying.
You may not have noticed. And it's like, why do you need to make a reference to something like this? But then they also do play. There's some race card stuff in here which is wildly out of place, and because Nick Fury has never been that character in the MCU. No, so they've got their square peg of race stuff and the round hole that they are slamming it into that are these episodes. Like, that doesn't seem to fit here at all. Yet there they are. Olivia Colman is in the series. And I adore Olivia Colman. She's good in everything. And she is the one, I can't emphasize that enough, shining point in this entire series. Everybody, and she's not in it very much. So when she is in it, it's nice to see her. And she has my favorite scene in the entire series thus far, which I imagine is still going to be my favorite scene in the entire series. There's only 2 episodes left. You have Nick Fury and you have Jim Rhodes. They're, and then there's kind of everybody else. And everybody else feels like, a background character. No one is fleshed out very well. Characters you're supposed to care about, when they die, you don't care. It's like, well, he's dead now. The effects are mid. I don't know what the budget for this show was.
A lot.
But whatever it was, they didn't spend it in the right areas.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Why watch this show? Just
no, there's, like I said, I'm watching it so you don't have to. That's the thing. And again, I need some, you have to dip your toes into the poison pond every now and then so you can share the news with others about this. It's not good. If you have no reason to watch this show. And if you didn't watch Captain Marvel, which I didn't, I'd say you lose out on some stuff, but they fill you in as well as they can with this material that you don't care about. Because again, it goes back to the Skrulls and how they've, they're essentially refugees on Earth, blah, blah, blah. But then there's 2 factions of Skrulls. One wants to take over the Earth for their devious reasons, and the other ones just want to get along and have hot dogs and stuff. It's a 6-hour waste of time. We were talking about it last night, how you have 6 hours. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time that you could be developing these minor characters and make you care about them. I mean, in a 2-hour film, they do that with characters.
Yeah, but Roman, all disrespect, right? You're saying the same thing that everyone has been saying for years now, right? We can't just keep saying the same thing. We know what Disney's going to give us. We know what Marvel's going to give us.
I know.
We can't. I mean, I understand if people do it for money and, but that's why I tune off. I remember I was listening to one of Gary's takes. In fact, I think it was Friday Night Tights, and they were talking about something. And I was thinking to myself, didn't they not say this 6 years ago about a show? It's the same thing, right? So it's like, I'm really getting. The only thing, look, don't get me wrong, I love Gary. I think he's great. The only thing I like watching Gary when he's on his own, when he's talking about pop culture on his own. I think when he has people around him, it's just, it gets a bit samey, if you know what I mean. No disrespect to any of them, because they're all freaking fantastic at what they do. But I just feel that they're saying the same thing all the time. Why don't they just talk about something that they really like? Then again, that doesn't sell, right? So I don't know.
No, it's true. It's every now and then, though. Every now and then. So you have your 10 episodes of, man, this sucked. But then you get the 1 episode of, this was so good. That this is so good episode really stands out.
Yeah.
That's like Ahsoka is coming out.
Yeah, it's going to be rubbish.
There is one thing I'm looking forward to in Ahsoka, and that's getting to see Ray Stevenson one more time. I know it's probably not gonna be great, but he's playing a big bad dude, and I love him as an actor. He's another one of those guys that even if the show is mid or worse, I think he is probably going to be a highlight in that, and I'm hoping he is, because I'm going to watch that show very specifically for that, for his performance in it. So we'll see.
It's a difficult situation. What do you say about this situation, about the TV shows that are being indoctrinated in this horrible kind of terrible thinking?
I still got 9 seasons of Dallas to go through.
I think the last 3 seasons weren't too good, but the first
30 years since I've seen it, so I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just.
You want to know who killed JR?
I got to that one.
I'm watching old movies. I said this in another stream. I watched Casablanca a couple of weeks ago, and I still love that film. I think that film's amazing.
That is a perfect movie.
Yeah, and just think they were making up as they went along. Do you know what I mean? So, because obviously it's based on a play called Rick's Place, isn't it? So,
Oh, I did not know that.
yeah, it was based.
Interesting.
So,
I learned something. Wow.
well, it's based on a play called Rick's Place, and the script,
So,
even at the ending, right? So this is what happened at the ending when Humphrey Bogart and Victor Laszlo, they were deciding who the girl would go with.
Oh, they didn't know?
They didn't know the script in.
Oh,
So, and
wow.
Humphrey Bogart got really upset, and he just sulked in his trailer, and then they came out and they decided that she would go with Victor Laszlo, and he was okay with it as well. All the dialogue, like the two lives don't amount to a hill of beans. That dialogue was made up by the script writers on the day.
Wow.
And the directors and the producer and the director always says, he says, if an actor says it with conviction and he's a good actor, he'll make those lines work. Because if you think about it, those lines are terrible, aren't they? Hill of beans. You know what I mean? Who talks like that? Do you know what I mean?
What,
So,
you don't use that in your everyday vernacular? Ian?
how about this one? Is
hello.
either one of you seen this one?
no, is it good?
Oh,
Well, I haven't.
actually, I have seen that movie. Mrs. of the Empire had me watch that movie.
So
Yes.
this was a 89 film where Raul Julia plays Archbishop Romero, who was
Yeah.
assassinated in El Salvador. This is, since I'm in my office, I have my Catholic movies down here. So this is the other one that I always show
confess
this one
it's
in
a great
class.
movie. What a great movie. What a
But
great movie.
now that I don't have the reflector cover on that one, I can just show again. Such a good movie.
I haven't seen that one.
No, I've seen this. Richard, that's another one. Mrs. of the Empire. If there's a
good movie.
Catholic theme to the movie, Mrs. of the Empire
but,
probably
I mean,
brought me in on it. But
12 awards.
no, it's an incredible film because their relationship at the beginning of the film is just so different than by the time we get to the end of the film. That it does play like
Have you heard of that new film? Was it like Freedom with Jim Caviezel?
Freedom.
Yeah,
What's
The
it
Sons
called?
of Freedom. I have not gone to the theater to see that. And that's not because I don't want to see it. I just haven't gone yet. What is that
I want to go
called?
and see it. The shoe.
What about this one? The Shoes of the Fisherman.
No,
There's a 60s movie with David Jensen. It also has Anthony Quinn, Oscar Werner, who was in Fahrenheit 451. Basically, it's about the election of the first Russian Pope.
Oh, well,
It's interesting. It was interesting.
So
But I use it because they show a perfect example of what a conclave, a papal election is like.
So you can bring
Basically,
up Padre Pio.
long story short, Anthony Quinn was a bishop that's in the Soviet gulag, freed, sent to Rome. Pope ends up dying shortly after that. He gets elected Pope. Will McCurtain is in it too.
I can see why you're interested in those films, but for me, those films don't hold anything to it. I mean, they're even though I'm a Catholic, those kind of films,
Right?
because sometimes they go too far with what they're trying to preach, and I always find that really...
I will say the only downside of it is, and I don't spoil it. Basically, the idea is China's threatening war because of starvation, so the Pope says he's going to sell all the treasures of the Vatican, which is a nice theory, but it never happened.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing everybody says. Why doesn't the church just sell its treasure? Well, okay, they do it, but that's not going to save the world for very long.
And also, it's part of history, isn't it? It's part of the history of
Yeah.
the actual organization itself. So,
Well, plus the value of some of the stuff. There's no way people could buy it.
yeah. No, definitely. I am interested in that Caviezel film. I probably will go and see it.
It's interesting because I'm seeing people on the left bash it, and I mean, I even see some Catholics on the left kind of bashing it.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in it. I mean, Jim Caviezel is a great actor. I first was introduced to him in Randy Quaid's movie Frequency. If you remember that one.
Like Frequency. Very good movie.
Roman looks like he's not. It's basically where a father's able to talk to his dad.
Yes.
Okay.
On the
Through
radio.
time travel through radio.
In my somewhere deep in the files of the my brain, that movie is in there, but it's been
So Randy Quaid is in the
so long.
60s, and he's talking to his son in the 90s.
You mean Dennis Quaid, though, right?
Dennis Quaid. Like I want the Quaids, right?
Big difference.
Yeah, they're brothers. They're brothers. It's family.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
but
pretty cool.
one was attacked by the aliens. The other is a pretty decent actor.
Well,
I,
they're not
Um,
in Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, as I said, I'm not really big into the religious movies. I find them very one-noted, but I do like the funny ones. I do like the ones that actually have sometimes they have a point and it's quite funny. Like,
Well, I mean,
I,
I'll give you that too. I mean,
yeah,
okay, God's Not Dead. The first one was okay, but then they did 2, 3, 4,
I
and it
didn't like
just
that film either. God's Not
yeah,
Dead.
I don't care for it. I mean, it's the ones that I really like, and I think I've talked about it, is the really craptastic fundamentalist Christian films where they had
Yeah.
Michael York as the Antichrist, and
Hang on, he. Oh, okay. I still think the best religious film ever made, right? And people can
I'll say Dogma.
shoot
Say
me
Dogma.
down with this. No, is Jesus of Nazareth. I
Yeah.
thought Jesus of Nazareth was fun, and it was nice, and it was wholesome, and it was well shot, and it was well performed. I mean, we used to get it every Easter on ITV, but they don't
And
show
over
it
here was the
anymore.
Ten Commandments.
Yeah. Oh, Ten Commandments.
I
What,
love
the
the Ten
Cecil B
Commandments
one?
so much.
Yeah, it was always on ABC every
All right.
Easter vigil.
But I had the privilege of actually watching, I think, the last 3 at the BFI, and it was one of the people that worked on the film, and he did a talk afterwards, and they showed it they actually rescanned it, and it looked absolutely
Oh, wow.
fantastic on screen. And they what's his name, Robert Powell was on stage as well, and talking about his experiences and stuff like that. He said he didn't believe in God at all when he made that film, but now he believes.
Wow.
That's right. And I mean, many years later, he believes now. So, but the only reason why he got that part, he says, because the director, I can't remember his famous director, an Italian director.
Oh, yeah. Dino.
No, it wasn't Dino De Laurentiis. No, it was Zeffirelli. Was it
Sounds right.
Franco Zeffirelli? His name is. Anyway, he said the reason why he got the part was because of his piercing blue eyes.
Mm.
Yeah, he came to the audition with big curly hair, just nothing like Jesus, and he just saw his eyes and he thought that's the eyes of Christ, and
Yeah.
that's how he got the part, man. That's So, but anyway, I think that was made innocently. It wasn't trying to push anything. It was just trying to be as faithful to the gospels that they were doing as best they could, and I think that was an honest film. Do you know what I mean?
What about A Man for All Seasons?
I didn't like that one.
You didn't like that one?
No.
I don't know if I've seen that. I don't think I have.
It won Best Picture in 68 or 69.
Yeah, the only other religious film that I think is up there is the Passion. Is it the Passion of Christ?
I love that
Mel
movie. It's a
Gibson.
very hard movie to
Yeah,
watch, but I love
it
that
is.
movie.
Okay, well, what about The Trouble with Angels, the Disney movie from the 60s where Haley Mills is with a bunch of nuns?
I think that was fun.
Okay, there's your third.
well, they're not proper. They're not proper God movies, are they? Let's face
It
it.
has a bunch of nuns in it.
No, but you know what I mean. When they're portraying something that's meant to be serious. Sister Act is my mum and dad's favorite film of all time. They love that film. They'd watch that 9 times in a day.
We watched that on the bus going to DC for the March for Life. I went into a James Bond audiobook.
But these films are kind of, as I said, when they go too far with it seems very biased. The way that
Preachy is the right word.
Yeah, it's just a bit annoying. But I as I said, you can see when something's been. I mean, with 10 Commandments, Cecil B. DeMille was just trying to make an epic. He didn't really care about the message. He was just trying to make something that was huge, so that people could be nominated for Oscars and stuff. That's what he was trying to do.
And now I'm thinking of Gene Wilder's "I Killed More Men Than Cecil B.
Yeah. What about the history of the world when Moses is carrying, was it three plaques, and he drops one?
I give you 15. 10 commandments.
Oh, that's the remake. The sequel was not good.
I know.
Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see it because I had already heard that the poison had gotten in the well, and it just wasn't.
It's not the same.
Palatable.
Yeah. It's a shame, really. It's a shame that everything is tainted. Anything that's good always is tainted by someone that really shouldn't really be part of that organization at all.
Yeah.
Anything. Do you know what I mean? It's really annoying. that happens. But then again, it is the way of life, I guess, isn't it? So I like Gandhi, but Gandhi obviously is not a Christian film. But I thought that film was pretty good as far as I was concerned, and it did give out the message of peace. So.
Barely even remember it existing.
Ben
I love Ben
Kingsley.
Kingsley because I like him, and he's one of those actors who, in just about everything he's in, he's fantastic. But I think I saw Gandhi back in the day, and that was probably the last time I saw Gandhi.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Have you not seen it? It's very good.
I mean, I know it. I know it's a good movie from what I've been told. I just never sat down and watched it.
Well, I didn't know.
It's been years.
I didn't know anything about Gandhi. And there was one scene that has never left me since I saw that film in the cinema. It's the scene where he's starving. He's starving himself because he wants the war to stop. I don't know if you remember that scene. And this guy comes storming into the room and throws him a loaf of bread. And he says, he says, I want you to eat. I want you to eat because, I'm going to go to hell. And Gandhi says, why are you going to go to hell? And he goes, because I took a Muslim boy. My son got killed by the Muslims. Is it Muslims? I can't remember. And he said, I got a Muslim boy and I took a stone and I smashed his head in, and I'm going to hell. So eat. And then Gandhi said, well, I know. Gandhi said, I know a way out. And he says, what? And he goes, after this day, go and find a Muslim kid and raise him as your own. That's your way out. He didn't say it that way. Obviously, he said it in a very wise way. And I thought that always stuck with me. That always stuck with me from after watching the movie. There were some nice moments in that film, and that was one of them. But hey, I digress.
Talking about good movies in an age of not so good movies. Yeah. So, the new Mission Impossible film. I haven't seen it. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I've heard it's long, though. I have heard that.
Yes, it is.
I probably won't see it in the theaters just because I seldom make it to theaters. The last movie I saw in the theater, I think, was Top Gun.
Yeah, that was
Maverick. It was Maverick. That was the last one that I made it out to.
He's the only one with common sense now,
which is weird.
It's hard
right?
to believe.
Yeah, it's like jumping on Oprah's couch. Strange little Tom Cruise man has become, like the last action hero, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because before Maverick, and I understand before in the Mission Impossible, there's a little heartfelt bit from Tom Cruise talking to the audience, and I don't know if you've seen it, but the good folks over at Disney or Lucasfilm have churned out a film where Harrison Ford looks like a hostage video. Where he's trying to do the same thing, but it lacks all the sincerity and
it does.
Just
especially
genuine
when you see what he said before him.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Well, it's Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is a notable curmudgeon. He has been, even before he got old, he was a curmudgeon. Whereas Tom Cruise, like I said, he's enthusiastic and he's genuinely grateful for having gotten to do this.
He drinks the blood of infants.
I understand that puts a brighter light on the day. It changes your disposition.
Look, you got to separate the thing from the artist. Tom Cruise is a very.
I can do that sometimes. I can still do it with Cruise. There are actors I can't do it with anymore.
You can't do it with Barbra Streisand.
No.
I really like Barbra Streisand when she was in her prime. I thought, first of all, if you've ever watched What's Up Doc, she's gorgeous in that film. What's Up?
That was her and Ryan O'Neal.
Yeah, Ryan O'Neal.
Is that the one with the judge?
Yeah, when he smashes the
I've
whole
seen
thing
clips of it. I mean, it looks
very
fun.
funny. It's incredibly funny. That film was one of those films that made me laugh out loud. It's
the one that I need to rewatch is Heaven Can Wait, and it's not.
I love that film. It's one of my favorite films.
Go back to the religious films, but I mean, I love that. It's a fun movie.
But it's not. It's not a religious film. That's
it's not a religious
film. Yeah, and the best thing about that film is it has a great heart in it. But the thing about that film, if you think about it very carefully, it was really horrible what they did to the main character.
Yeah. I never liked the ending. I never liked the ending of the movie.
Yeah,
because it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
because it you didn't do what you should have. You didn't do what you needed to do with him.
Yeah.
You just kind of moved him over, but then
And then he
Okay,
everything.
so this is funny because now that's the other actress in Fahrenheit 451. I already mentioned Oscar Werner and Julie Christie.
Yeah, Julie Christie was.
So now I hit both.
She was amazingly pretty and beautiful. In fact, when she was young, she was incredible when she was young. You know.
Again, Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah, I mean, everything that the Warren Beatty's character was, Joe Pendleton, disappeared, got destroyed, and that doesn't seem a good thing to happen.
It didn't
Yeah.
make sense. Just logically, for the point of the film,
Yeah,
you're supposed to be saving. I mean, or letting him continue his life.
yeah,
But if he doesn't realize it's his life anymore, how
Yeah.
are his decisions his decisions?
Well,
They're not. And
okay,
it just
so
kinda-
did you ever see the Robert Downey Jr. Chances Are?
no,
The
is it
Civil
good?
Shepherd?
I don't think
It's,
I have.
it's an older, it's like a mid 80s where Robert Downey Jr.'s character gets killed, comes back as the boyfriend of his daughter.
Oh, that's yeah, exactly.
I just got the Ghiblies, Father. That wasn't
Doesn't
good.
sound good.
I can't. It's like I said, it's been so long since I've seen it, but it actually wasn't too bad. I mean, it's reincarnation garbage, but
One of my favorite films, and it's not a religious film, but you can be classed as a religious film. Then again, it can't be. Is Fields of Dream, man. Fields
Yeah.
of Dreams is a great. It's kind of like Miracle Time with that film.
I've
That's
been
a
to
really
Fields
good
of
movie.
Dream. It's okay. It's a baseball field and a
Yeah.
cornfield.
Yeah, where they come back from.
That's all
the
it
dead.
is. I mean, the only thing really worth seeing in Dyersville, Iowa, where the film was filmed, is
Right.
there's a big basilica there.
Oh, cool. As I say, and another one of my guilty pleasures. I haven't watched it in years though. Is the film obviously Oh God, which I thought was quite a lot of fun.
I saw that not too long ago.
Those were fun. Oh
What
God,
about
and Oh God,
Slapshot?
Book 2.
Slapshot is a good movie.
Love it.
It's very
The Hanson
raw.
brothers.
Can't
yeah,
make it
yeah.
today.
Yeah, it's very raw, isn't it? And
Yes.
it does speak a lot about. It was in those days you didn't wear any helmets when you were playing ice. Well, we call it ice hockey over here, but yeah, so it's
I gotta
crazy,
see if I
right?
can find the clip.
And that famous theme, wasn't it? At the ending of the film, it's a good movie. I thought it was a good movie. Then I made a sequel, and what's his name wasn't in it.
Nah.
Paul Newman wasn't in it. Just the Hanson brothers were in it. That was it.
Yeah, but they got one of the Baldwin brothers in it.
Yeah, it's just not good at all.
Oh goodness, there are a lot of them. There are more of them than you think.
Yeah,
The Baldwin brothers, which is a little weird. I mean, you've got the one, and then
yeah.
Billy, Buster, Chucky. I don't remember all their names. There's a lot of them now.
Okay, so I might get copyright struck. I don't care.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Can't explain this delay. I don't know why Syracuse has elected to miss the warm-up. The Chiefs have already
I
stated
still don't get the ending though, guys. Do you get the ending of this film?
actually brought back just for this
Okay.
one contest. Some
Love this.
colorful names for the back. Oh, and here they come now, led by someone we all know very well, Tim Dr. Hook McCracken. Here's a name from the past. Ross Mad Dog Madison. Ross, as you well know, never travels anywhere without his longtime friend and attorney, Sam Small Print Lyman. And here's a name for you nostalgia fans. Clarence, Screaming Buffalo Swamp Town. I'll never forget an exclusive interview I did with him many years ago when Buffalo revealed that he liked to call his hockey stick the Big Tomahawk. And he usually refers to the opposing players as the Little Scalps.
I thought he'd been suspended forever.
Andre Lucier, defense. Andre, of course, has been living in semi-seclusion in northern Quebec ever since the unfortunate Denny Pratt tragedy. Not total. And from mile 40, Saskatchewan, where he now runs a donut shop, number 15.
I think there's a no-no
former
word.
penalty minute record holder of the Federal League for the years 1960 to 1968 inclusive, Gilmore Tuttle.
Why do they all look like scientists with their big moustaches and their long hair? But didn't they try to copy this movie with what was it called? They made one recently, recently, like over 10 years ago, with the guy Stickler, the guy who played Stickler. What was that one called?
I can't think of it.
He
Don't.
played
No.
He played an ice hockey person that actually, he was just hired to beat people up. I can't remember what it was called. They made a sequel to it as well. What was it
It must
called?
have
The
been
guy-
that good, huh?
Well, it was a success. That's why they made a sequel. Can't remember what it was called though. But they have a name for a person in the team that actually goes around and and fights people. What's it called? You remember it?
No, I
you remember.
know the term. There's a term for somebody
Yeah.
that's basically like the muscle.
Yes, yeah. So he was one of them, and teams used to hire him to go in there and beat up people and stuff. So yeah, so I can't remember what it was called, but it was very successful though, the film. But yeah, I mean, Rollerball is better than they should make
Rollerball. They
Rollerball.
remade Rollerball. They did the original Rollerball with James Caan, then they remade it. And I don't even remember who was in the remake.
I can't remember.
What about Death Race 2000?
That was funny.
That's a strange film.
That is
It's a
very
fun
strange.
one though.
Yeah, very strange.
I never knew that's where the point system came from.
Oh
Sylvester
yeah.
Stallone was in it, wasn't he? Sylvester
Stallone
Stallone
was,
in that
it was
film.
one of his first.
Yeah.
And
I think-
David Carradine, of course.
Yes, David Carradine. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I prefer to watch old films now. I can't watch this new stuff anymore. It's just really annoying. What did I watch?
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, we got a couple other films coming out this year. At least they were. I assume they still are. Like Dune Part 2 is coming out.
Yeah, I'm not
I am interested in seeing that because I did like
Are
Part
you?
1.
I didn't like
Well, we
that one.
mentioned Napoleon. The trailer looks really good.
It does. My only problem, and this is like minor nitpick. Roman's a jerk. Is that Joaquin Phoenix? I wish they had gotten 2 actors for the film. One playing younger Napoleon because he was only in his 20s when he did most of a lot of his earlier exploits, and then Joaquin Phoenix could have stepped into the role as the more advanced version of it. But it's fine. Like I said, that's a minor nitpick thing. I think that's going to be good. And Oppenheimer, which is coming out next week, which I may make the effort to get to the theater for, but because I like Chris Nolan a lot, so we'll see.
I know Ian's thoughts.
I can.
Well,
did you see it? Did you hate it? Did you love it? You didn't like it? Is it me? It's me, isn't it?
No.
No, I want to see Oppenheimer. It's just I know
It's not a subject I'm interested in. That's the thing. And also, I know Chris Nolan's films have a lot of talking in it, and I don't think I can sit through 3 hours or whatever just talking nonsense. Really, I can't do it.
Teresa.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Father. And Ian, all of you and Roman, you've all been helping me out, watching my stuff, shouting me out, and
you made it. You made it.
Yeah,
You're one of them now.
I'm still surprised. Maybe Ian could explain. Dan's not monetized.
No,
How's Facebook not monetized?
Look, I look. There are certain things I don't know. I really don't know. I think it's because our opinions are very all diversified. I guess our opinions, and they don't. YouTube doesn't like our opinions, and I guess I don't know what's going on there. I really don't. But
well, does he have the watch hours?
I don't know.
Well, there's
Because
like 69 people watching his stream yesterday.
There's a lot of people watching this, and he's also on Rumble as well. A lot of people watch him on Rumble, which is weird. So I don't know. I think he has this bee in his bonnet where he won't do the things to actually attract the right sort of people. You won't. Sometimes you've got to step out of your circle to actually get viewers to watch you, and then you can step back in the circle once you got the numbers, kind of thing.
No.
So, but I don't think he's willing to do that. He's an honest chap. He doesn't want to do. He wants to do it by honesty and graft.
Well, you'll never get far in this business, kid.
Because I was about to say, there's some seriously messed up opinions on my channel.
Well, it must be your voice. They must love your voice. That's all I can
that's
say.
my lovely voice. Well, I don't know. Like I said, once I got the hours and all that, it took less than 24 hours for them to approve me. I've heard though that sometimes it has to do with your videos. Like if you need to make videos, because that's actually how they evaluate you. I've heard that. So maybe
But I think that's wrong, really. I think if you reach a certain, because if you reach a certain number, they should monetize you.
Well,
That's the
yeah.
whole point of being on YouTube. That I don't understand why there's rules now that if we like your content, then we're going to monetize you. That's not right.
Well,
That's
I mean,
not
that's
right
what
at
happened
all.
to the rabbi, though. The rabbi lost his monetization after
Ooh.
a few un-PC comments.
Yeah,
Well,
but
that's pretty much the rabbi's whole show. I don't understand how it
exactly.
suddenly became a thing.
Yeah, but the thing about the rabbi is that he doesn't have a set thing. He just rabbits on. And you can't listen. I mean, I've tried to watch all of his show, but I can't. He's talking too fast and he's blurting it out. And half the way through, I'm thinking, what is he talking about? And then suddenly I just tune off. I've said this to him a million times. You should have a structure. I mean, Dan has a structure, but that doesn't explain why he's not getting.
Well, my first question would be, I'll just say this to Ian. Ask if he's got the hours, because just because people are watching, because people sometimes will watch and they'll like wave and then they'll leave and you'll only get a few seconds of watch hours. Because I mean, mostly what I was told as I went through it, it was like, as long as you don't have any strikes and you don't have any like copyright issues or anything like that. And that was that. Now, it is true that I don't necessarily go out and, I don't talk about the hot topics because, for one thing, I don't want to. But no, we've on my channel, especially our live streams, we've talked about woke stuff and other issues, but
maybe they just see your picture and they go, "It's a rose." Okay, well,
there you go. Okay, let's tell the truth. Let's tell the truth. You know that my patron is the little flower. I mean, come on, you cannot resist. She is a doctor of the church. She is the intercessor of the century. Everyone loves the little flower. So she's just throwing rose petals at everybody. And no, it's not. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend I'm anything special because I know that a lot of this stuff is random. I mean, for me, I did make a push because I was able to. That's the other thing, to make the regular content required, because so many things have happened since I first got going with the Corona Diaries, which was where I met you, or that's where we streamed a lot together. I think we met on someone else's channel. I had a momentum thing going, but then life happened and I had to stop and I had to work, and I kind of kept some regular stuff, but because of a certain situation, I was able to boom. Okay, let's do this. And so I'm very happy.
That's good.
I was gaming the hours, but then when I had to take my little sabbatical because I was going nuts because there was nothing going on out west, now that I'm busy, I don't have as much time to do the live streams. I haven't streamed with the rabbi in probably a year.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's a good thing.
No, it's kind of fun. I gotta say, it is kind of fun telling people I do a stream with a rabbi. I mean,
I'm joking.
The idea of a priest and a rabbi streaming talking nerd stuff, that's kind of
yeah. But he always has a way where he'd talk about nerd stuff, then he turn it into we're all gonna die. The end is nigh.
Okay, yeah, but it's
that's my favorite part.
After the third prediction, it's like he just nod.
Yeah. So,
and if he's watching, I love him. I love you, Rabbi.
He's a lot of fun.
Who doesn't love a rabbi from another planet? Isn't that what he is? He's a rabbi from another planet.
Yeah.
Going back to the woke stuff, I don't know if you saw with the Oppenheimer actress.
Oh no!
Don't ruin this for me, Father. Don't ruin this for me.
Pew.
No. I'm not doing any spoilers outside of the nudity that's supposedly in the film.
And I'm not looking forward to that. I don't want to see.
She's not attractive at all. This girl.
Yeah, but she was in Black Widow.
She was. She. I didn't find her attractive.
Is that the sister?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Well, so she's doing it on purpose because she looks lovely. Like if you technically look at her face and all that, and if she had like nice hair and everything,
take out the cow ring.
And the cow ring. I hate those things.
Yeah.
So she's looking ugly on purpose.
Well, that's good. No, I wouldn't hire her if I was director. I wouldn't hire her if I was in charge. Well, I mean, the thing is, people still want to dream. They still want to go to the cinema, admire beautiful people, get taken to another world, and come out smiling. People still want to do that, and Hollywood doesn't seem to want to go that way anymore. Hence why people are not going to the cinema. The cinema is dying.
Yeah,
know,
why go when you're so depressed? I mean, the last movie I saw, I think you spoke of it briefly, was the Sound of Freedom. Now, that did not make me happy. Trust me, that had me completely devastated. But it was a great movie. So, because I'm thinking that's the first movie I've seen in the cinema since Maverick.
Yeah.
Okay. You and I.
And I don't know if my last movie would have been edifying.
Oh yeah.
The last movie I saw was Violent Night.
Violent Night.
Oh gosh, Father.
I loved it.
Teresa, how was the production on that film? Because I haven't seen it. I want to see it. I like Jim Caviezel, whose name I pronounce poorly, but it reminds me of Weasel, so it rhymes. That's the only way I make it work in my brain. Anyway, but with a lot of movies like this, I mean, the theme of the movie is good. You get some good actors, but then the production is kind of meh.
No.
How was the production on this?
No. This is good. This isn't like a Kirk Cameron kind of thing. And
you read my mind. You read my mind.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. There is a problem with Christian movies that they think because it's about Jesus or something that the production values have to be great. I don't find that with the people on the Roman side of the thing too much. But no, it was aesthetically it was a fracking well-made film.
Okay.
No, it is not at all like that. And if you want to see another one, a pro-life one that the same people did is called Bella. That was also made about 2008, 2009.
I'm not familiar.
An
with
amazing film, a pro-life film. So no, the production values were great. The acting was amazing. The score was good. It was really, really a beautiful piece of film, if that makes sense. Because
I get
of course,
it. Topic is heavy, but yeah.
I'll be right back. I heard the doorbell.
Well, you know how sometimes they talk about the seductive power of evil. This movie was kind of talking about the seductive power of good, meaning that a lot of the people that were involved with this, like there were some bad guys that turned and were rescuing of children and stuff. The fact that they just couldn't resist the grace. That's where the line comes from when that one guy says, when God tells you to do something, you do it. And that's probably the most explicit line in the whole movie that refers to God. But it's just that they just knew, they saw these things and they knew they had to do something about it. And when, the children are rescued, spoiler alert, it's a true story. It happened back in 2014. You're just so relieved, and then but you realize that there are so many other children.
They're the minority of this.
But
yes, it was a miracle that these children were saved.
The film was made by Angel Productions, but the film wasn't made by Angel Productions. No. Basically, the script and I think the producers went to Disney. Disney turned it down. So as an independent film, the guy that wanted to make this film wanted the message to get out there. And then Angel Films, who makes all these God films, decided to take it on. And they've been lucky because the film has resonated with a lot of people out there, and people have gone to see it in the cinema. So there you go.
Let me correct you.
2 movies.
Disney did not have anything to do with the making of this film.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to make that clear. They passed on the distribution of it because of 20th Century Fox. Yeah, so Disney. Because Disney was incapable of making this kind of film. I just wanted to make that clear. And so it was on the shelf, and then Angel Studios picked it up.
Yeah.
And Angel Studios, well, the other thing I know from them is The Chosen, which I have very mixed feelings about. Some of The Chosen is amazing. Like the actor who plays Jesus is unbelievable. And so like when he's being Jesus, it's great. It's just everyone else that sucks in that show. You know what I mean? But the guy who plays Jesus, and solid dude, and he shows up on my Hallow app with Jim Caviezel and all these guys. So yes, so Angel Studios took up the distribution of it, and it's already more successful than Indiana Jones, because if you look at the gross, if you will, Indiana Jones made so much money, but first of all, they haven't even broke even. This movie was 15 million.
Won't.
Yeah. No, it won't. It's a flop. But this one made was a budget of 15 million, and it's already past the $45 million mark. So proportionally, it is this. And of course, Disney didn't want to distribute it, because why would they want to distribute something that was
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. Yeah.
I'll be I almost said something that would probably get Father Miller's channel canceled about Disney and a lot of these Hollywood people, because they say this in the movie. They say it in the movie. The number one consumer of child, you know what,
Yeah.
is the United States of America, and we all know where
Well, in England,
they're going.
in England, there's a famous well-known TV presenter.
Gee, I
that,
wonder.
yeah.
Will Jim fix it?
No, Jim is on the side of the devil, unfortunately, and he's probably in hell at the moment. So there
Probably.
you go.
Oh no, are you
Probably,
talking
yeah.
about that BBC dude?
Yes, the
It's
BBC
been all over
dude.
the news. Yeah, I watch all the BBC
Yeah.
stuff because of royals.
So apparently he's not well. But we all knew that after learning what he was after. So apparently he's convalescing. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. BBC is such a horrible, filthy company. It really does boggle me why that company's still going. It really does. But anyway,
You know why? Because it's publicly funded. That's why.
I don't fund it. I don't fund it.
If you pay do you pay taxes?
Taxes. I always try.
TV license.
But yeah. No, I don't pay for the TV license.
But if you pay taxes, you pay.
No,
I mean, it's taxpayer.
It's the TV license. If you want to watch TV, you got to pay to get the license to watch.
But
the TV.
you can opt out of it, which millions of people have opt out of it, and I've opted out of it. My mum gets the BBC because when you reach beyond the age of 70, it's free. So my mum could watch BBC.
Okay, I stand corrected. I remember that in Ireland too. I didn't realize that it was solely funded by the TV license. I thought it was like our PBS.
It's basically the you have the license. In the old days, they used to scare you, and it wasn't true. They have adverts where they have somebody in a van with satellites on them.
And he would knock on the door.
Yeah.
And they would say,
"Mailman, delivery."
Candygram.
Yeah. But that wasn't true though. They were lying to the public, and a lot of people got scared.
Stop that.
They all got scared. Yeah. So there you go. But the BBC is inherently, I'm going to say this, inherently evil as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
I don't really want to have anything to do with the BBC at all.
So Ian, I was going to send you the video. Somebody on Twitter, I think it was, put together the British public service announcements of the 70s and everything.
Yeah,
where the children are getting electrocuted.
Yes,
run
I've
over
seen
by
it.
Cars.
Yeah, I've seen it.
With Queen singing "Another One Bites the Dust" in the background.
Yeah, I've seen them. They're really horrific. You know,
but they're fun.
Imagine kids watching that and really being scared and stuff like that. I saw a video. I think it was on Twitter where this monkey was climbing up this thing and it touched an electrical cable and it just went straight like a cardboard and fell off. It was incredible. Obviously it didn't have any sound or anything. Well, it was just to see that. I thought, geez, wow, that's what happens when you get electrocuted. That poor monkey didn't know what hit him, I guess. It's probably
poor thing.
Yeah, it's not good. Not good at all. But yeah, God,
well, speaking of rich Merverts, how's Prince Andrew doing? I mean,
nobody knows how he's doing. You see how he's come out of the news? Yeah, they're grateful for all these bad things happening, so that we don't have to focus on the real problems of this world. So it's deflection, isn't it? So.
Yeah, well, they're kind of hiding. They're hiding him away a bit. I heard that he wasn't going to Balmoral with everyone else.
Yeah, it's obvious that I think he's guilty just by listening to all the stuff that he's been saying, and I just think he's lying. Obviously, I don't know whether he did the deed, but I do know he feels guilty about going to the island and. And stuff like that. So.
What could possibly go wrong? You see, and that's kind of what they show in this Sound of Freedom. There's lots of those islands and lots of rich politicians and actors and all of them. It's like, really, you didn't know that there was some shady, awful stuff, really?
The thing is, though, it's so obvious what you have to do. If you do make it big in Hollywood, make the films in Hollywood and then get out. Go back to England.
I think that's what Tom Holland's trying to do.
Yeah, and also Stanley Kubrick did that. he saw the corruption in Hollywood, and he lived in England all his life. Every time they wanted him to make a film, they'd have to come to him, and he didn't like flying either. So when he made what was that last film, that Full Metal Jacket, he shot everything in England, even the stuff in what is it, in Vietnam was all shot in England. So they went to him. He didn't have to go to them at all. So that's the best thing to do, really. Escape Hollywood. Hollywood's a cesspool. It really is.
It's a cesspool, and I've heard of people that don't want to raise their kids in Hollywood. That they get, and well, we all know why. But
Yeah.
I mean, look at what Drew Barrymore, the story she would tell about.
Yes, it's a horrible thing. And who's that guy, the little guy that was in Stand By Me? He put a book out, didn't he, about
Felton, Corey Felton, one of the Corys.
Yeah,
because he was supposed to do a web movie or something revealing who abused him, and he never did hear.
Yeah, unfortunately, he might have been right, but he was way too cuckoo about it.
Yeah. I mean,
they need to have better messengers.
I guess I
will say I do miss Charlie Sheen when he was on Tiger Blood. Those were fun podcasts. Nuts. They were
Charlie
fun.
Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
Now he has the AIDS.
Has he got AIDS?
Oh yeah, he got the AIDS.
Oh wow. Oh, that's a shame.
Reminds me, they did play that on Friday Night Tights last week.
Oh, did they?
Let me see if I can find. Or you probably haven't seen this one.
Does that mean to say people can give you money, Tracer?
Yes. It's like, what do you think monetization means? No, people are going to give me crap. Oh, wait, I'm on Father's Channel.
I'm just saying, that, people will give you money now.
Yeah, super chat, super stickers, super thanks, and what do you call it? Memberships, and then the AdSense kicks in when I get to 1,000 subs because they changed the sub requirement.
Right.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
I was overweight and looked terrible, but AIDS helped me lose 46 pounds.
What?
The AIDS diet plan helped me lose 28 pounds.
AIDS helps control your appetite so you lose weight. Yet AIDS lets you taste, chew, and enjoy. And the appetite suppressant in AIDS is not a stimulant.
AIDS helped me to lose 18 pounds, and it doesn't contain
What show was this on?
It's a commercial. It was a real product.
Pills when you could
What?
enjoy AIDS.
I'm assuming it was
chocolate
without
Yeah.
making you
Oh, I thought it was. I was talking about AIDS.
No, it was before.
Oh, I see.
Obviously.
The before time.
Which is why you don't see it today.
No.
Is it still selling?
No, you don't see it today for obvious reasons.
They probably changed the name.
I think it actually killed the product, Teresa. I think that actually was. It didn't. It lasted as long as that commercial had the chance to air once, and then the actual thing came along and really tainted.
Just changing the subject slightly. Have you heard that Lizzo has been nominated for Best Supporting Actor?
Yes.
I think it's hilarious.
Although that's funny, we go from a diet pill to Lizzo. Well, that's ironic.
Wow.
Disney
buys their nominations. I mean, it's so obvious.
It is obviously corrupted, the whole thing, isn't it? Because there's absolutely no way you would, someone like that, they hardly said anything in the episode would get nominated.
Kenobi got like several nominations as well. These are bad products. These were objectively bad products. There wasn't, there's not like that. Well, we could debate. No, they're bad products.
Yeah.
And Lizzo in particular, and did Jack Black get nominated as well?
No, I don't think he did.
He wasn't as good as Lizzo, which is.
That's what I'm saying. It's obvious that the whole thing is corrupt, and
wow.
And what is it? They want to tick all the boxes and stuff. It's crazy, right? So,
well, there is one act of justice. Meghan and Harry's documentary got snubbed. They did not get a nomination.
I thought they did get nominated.
Was that?
I thought they did get nominated.
No,
not for an Emmy. They came out with, but we got nominated with like a Hollywood directors of somebody who's no one heard of nomination. The Crown got 1 million Emmy nominations, which is hysterical.
Yeah.
Well, they lied through the whole thing. I mean, but that's a whole other story. I have issues with them.
What the royal family?
Well, no. Well, with Harry and Meghan, because
that's a divorce waiting to happen.
Oh, if not already. I mean, the more you learn about what was really going on and how much the royal family was just gritting their teeth and bending over backwards, and it's kind of come out that she had planned this all along. She'd already made the deal with Oprah. Yes. Oh, there we go. Wow.
Did the South Park episode get an Emmy nomination? Because it should have.
It should have. That was amazing.
We want privacy. We want privacy.
Well, I mean, it seems like everything has changed since then.
No, it hasn't. Well, remember they made up the car chase in New York, the high-speed car chase that went on for 2 hours, and everyone who's ever been in Manhattan's like,
that's an impossibility.
Well, no. Well, I mean, but in all seriousness, part of the reason why I actually somewhat take it a bit personally, obviously, the royal family doesn't care about me, and I don't care about them, but I think we can all relate to people selfishly going public and basically lying about your family and just I mean the horrible things that Harry said about his father, his brother's wife, his stepmother. I mean, all these awful things, and and about people he grew up with, and he lied about the first woman he slept with, and she got embarrassed. I mean, it's just very mean-spirited what he did. I mean, who does that to their own family? That's a piece of human garbage. You don't have to be a royal. And I feel the same way about people that do the same on Twitter or Facebook when they, stomp all over their family.
Well, for one, we don't really know if he's telling the truth or not. I mean, it's a guess that he's not telling the truth. But the thing about it is that I don't really care what they do. I really don't, and nobody does. That's the thing, and it's funny because maybe I dodged a bullet, because when I was younger, I always wanted to be part of the Hollywood system, make Hollywood movies and stuff like that. But now, when you look at it, it seems like it's been corrupted since day one, Hollywood. So maybe I dodged a bullet there. I think actually not maybe. I think I did dodge a bullet. If you look at it very carefully now, everything's being exposed for what it truly is. Politicians, Hollywood, movies, everything's being exposed. So maybe
you could have had buckets of adrenochrome though. So
I could have had AIDS.
Yeah. See, this isn't true. See, now that I've learned that they have a publicity people that keeps writing these articles, because
I think this would be awesome.
Oh my God.
Well, first of all, she can't sing. Second of all, she can't act. And third of all, everyone hates her.
I'm going to be 100% honest. If she was in the room with me right now, I would wonder who this strange lady was out in the studio, but I would have no idea who she was. I can't pick her out of a lineup of people. If it were, say, like her and Ian, I know only because she's a girl, but I don't know what she looks like. I have nothing going on. I mean, there's not much up here anyway. Let's not kid ourselves. I'm very elderly, but she's not one of those like standout. Wow, like Margot Robbie. On the other hand, I know what she looks like. Meghan Markle.
Everything that's been written by so-called stars on Twitter is not. I give an example. I was watching a podcast, which was actually on YouTube. That's why I say I was watching it. I can't remember who the star was, and he said that he peed off William Shatner. He basically said something about William Shatner, and he knows William Shatner, and he said something, and then William Shatner tweeted him back saying, "What the hell are you talking about?" Blah blah. And he felt so guilty that he rang up William Shatner and he said, "I'm really sorry that I said that on Twitter." And William Shatner said, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "The thing I said on Twitter." He goes, "What thing you said on Twitter?" And it goes, "The thing that you," and he goes, "No, that's not me. It's probably the publicity people that I use that probably." Do you know what I mean? So that put it in perspective, right? Anything you see on Twitter or on Instagram,
right?
Is it really them? We don't know.
No.
Here we go.
Well, often they have a team of people that do it for them. Except for Donald Trump. He never.
Does it show you agree, darling? We can be the people we talked about being, with no more worries about how we look or the image we project. have on the inside.
Look at her face. She's like,
But you
so
know,
he's worse than her though, because he sold out his own family. You know what I mean?
and what's interesting is that they always portray Canadians like that, but he's not Canadian, he's British. That's really
Oh, I
weird.
know.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
there's
that's the
Megan.
other thing. They made him the Canadian
Yeah,
prince.
they did, didn't
Yes.
they?
Well, that's
Oh, God.
part of the thing to avoid being sued, I think.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and my personal favorite, also coming out of that South Park episode, is whenever they're doing their stunts and pretending like they don't want people to look at them, people have photoshopped in them holding the sign. Stop looking at us.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? The whole aspect of them is absolutely ridiculous. You think she'd be happy, you know, the idea that she was in love with someone from the royal family and being part of the royal family. You think she'd be happy that you know, but no, you know,
For a mid-level star performer person, for any amount of notoriety, the old adage, all press is good press, even when it's bad press. They did this to themselves, but it was, you know, from some kind of weird exhibitionist self-destructive thing. It's like, you know, it's like setting yourself on fire in the public square. You know, it's the same, well, sort of. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Stop looking at me. I don't really care about them one way or the other.
Is that if you look at Instagram, a lot of stars are on Instagram now. I watched one with Steve Gutenberg trying to spout all this wisdom as he's walking down the road. And you're like, what are you talking about? Why don't you just go and retire and live your life? Why are you talking why are you on this? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's ridiculous. And then there's one with Michelle Pfeiffer. I love Michelle Pfeiffer, but don't talk to me about perfume with Michelle Pfeiffer. I do not want to know. Why are you on this? You're a big star. You don't need this. I just find it puzzling.
I would so take the money.
Normal people.
Yeah, I'd take the money and go live on an island, you know, get myself a villa.
What
you
kind
know,
of island, Teresa?
A good kind of island, the kind of island where it's me and nobody else, and no one can come see me unless I like let down the drawbridge or something. Because I mean it. Don't look at me. Leave me alone.
It's funny. People, you know, what would you do if you had, you know, $1 billion? I would get the hell away from all of you. That's what I would do with $1 billion.
$1 billion. I mean, with $1 billion, you can help so many people. I just don't understand why billionaires don't help people. I just, you know, think. Yeah.
Misses of the Empire and I were talking about this very thing today. Back in the day, the Rockefellers, people of that caliber, they built foundations. They actually, you could say they didn't give back, but they had a gazillion dollars, but they did give back. They changed the face of the modern world, and people knew who they were in a good way. Unlike the self-enriching, self-aggrandizing giant leeches that are out there today that don't do those things. They just suck off society. And you know, we've gone back to the fiefdom.
It's crazy.
Their medicine of choice. I'm trying to give euphemisms so I don't taking on Father's channel site.
That's okay. I'm trying to bring up the image I posted on Twitter the other day because you're talking about rich people. I thought this was perfect.
I mean,
Titanic joke here.
Oh, I've seen that.
Oh no. No.
I don't blame you. I've seen it.
Oh no.
You know what, right? Not all rich people are bad though. That's the thing. But you know, if they work for their money, they deserve what they get. Do you know what I mean?
I want to be a rich person. I'd love to be a rich person.
Yeah, I'd love to inherit rich money.
But yeah.
Well, for example, in the Sound of Freedom movie, he was able to do what he did because there was a billionaire, the one paid by Eduardo Vestuegi, I hope I said his name right, was a billionaire, and he funded it, you know, because you know they had to put down all this money to pretend to be preverts and buying the kids, quote unquote. So yeah, there are good billionaires out there, but they aren't. They're showing it to everyone. They're not being the Pharisee in the synagogue talking about how awesome they are.
Yeah. But it's like when I watch TV and they have an advert saying these people in Africa, they're dying of starvation. If you give £2, you could save. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, you're directing it to poor people. Why aren't you directing this commercial to bankers or rich people in this world? They're the people that can change the world, not us. What, you want us to reach into our pocket and give you 5 pence? You know, it might be my last 5 pence, but still, it doesn't make any sense.
If it was that easy, why don't you all do it yourself?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And then when you have the telephones as well, always makes me laugh, right?
Never
asking for ordinary people to put money in, but they never ask the banks to put money in. Do you know what I mean? It's just so annoying.
Well, perhaps, but I mean, it is true that there are companies that have matching gifts and the like, and sponsor hospitals.
Yeah, there are. They are. But
oh my gosh, what are you showing us, Father?
Oh, this is. I thought you'd seen this one before.
That over $40,000. With that money, we are putting more and more iPads into these people's hands. With iPads, these people can finally help more Americans get rid of negativity on their social media. Oh, thanks, Jojo. I'm shame-free now, and you can be too. For just $1 a day, one of these beautiful children will protect you from trolls and make your internet a safe space. We
Look at that poor kid.
Completely shameless. The world can be brutal, but Shameless America is going to continue to take steps to make sure everyone has a safe space forever.
Are you sure this is a good idea?
Oh no.
Yeah. It's not good, is it? It's not good.
So I'm gonna have to start wrapping up.
Okay.
Because it's been going about 2 hours.
Nothing wrong going 2 hours?
No. It's glad you guys were able to make it.
It's a round number.
It's gonna be about 2 weeks before I can stream again because I'll be gone the next 2 weeks.
Yay, vacation.
Off on your grand adventure. I'm jealous. One of these days, you need to come out to San
I want
Diego.
to.
You need to make it out here before
I'll
it
tell you
falls.
what, with the writer's strike,
here.
with the actor's strike, this year might be the year to go to Comic-Con.
Yeah. Well, there's no one there. None
That's
of them.
the thing.
No one is coming to Comic-Con. I don't have tickets anymore, though. I stopped getting tickets.
But I'm just saying, with it becoming with no focus on the celebrities, it might actually be.
It might be all focused on the YouTubers, you know. So
Eric July is going there.
What the last one?
Eric July is going to be here for sure.
Yeah. So the last one I went to,
and Gary's going to be here too.
They had a whole section on the YouTube people. So yeah, so that's getting big now, you know. So I wouldn't be surprised if this Comic-Con, the biggest one of all, has a section for YouTubers, and Eric July is you know, collecting all the fame, and Gary and the rest of them. Yeah. But they're nothing compared to the main YouTuber that's making. There are loads of YouTubers that I don't know if that's you know, millions and millions of people watching.
Mr. Beast.
Who's that?
Well, PewDiePie.
Oh, him. Yes, I know who he is. Yeah, he's the biggest, one of the biggest YouTubers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, anything to plug?
No. No. Well, Roman's
you got anything coming up?
Roman's got something to plug, ain't you, Roman?
So Thursday, 5 Pacific Standard, I will be back with episode 5 of Secret Invasion. Remember, I watch it so you don't have to.
Dear me. Yeah.
Well, Miss Martin, you're now monetized. You're the one making money on here.
Oh, well, I haven't made a pity yet. Well, actually, I am going to I'm planning tonight, tentatively, I think around 9:00 Central, just going ahead and doing a celebration. Why not? And having lots of pictures of Mr. Darcy and Faramir and Boromir and The Witcher, so I don't know. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be continuing with Pub Crawl Season 2, getting together the guests, etc. And Teresa travels Tuesdays. So just stay tuned to Miss Smart Muses. You never know. Of course, Catholic Explaining every Sunday. I'm doing the Eucharist next. We're doing the 7 Sacraments, so we are on the Eucharist.
Hold on. So you're doing one tonight, which is what, 9 o'clock your time?
Yeah. So that would be. You see, you
6
are
hours from now.
6 hours. Well, how much are you ahead? Let me look at you. You're the same as Cork.
Yeah.
Let's see. So you are plus 6 hours.
Almost
So
9
9
o'clock.
plus 6 is 15. So 3 in the morning your time.
Come on. Yeah, I'm gonna try and see it.
It's okay. It's all right. Well, because I was trying to think. I want to do something. Maybe in the evening and also after Friday Night Tights, I guess. I don't even know how long they go on anymore. I haven't watched them
17 hours, Teresa. They go 17 hours.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, because, some of them might, well, we'll just see. I have this. I'm not going to say anything, but I'm just saying 9 o'clock's a good time. I mean, I have not watched a Friday Night Tights in like 2 years at least. I mean, it's just a different show, obviously, and they deserve all the success they get. So does it usually go about 5 hours, 6 hours? I mean, how long does it?
No, not anymore.
Okay.
As I said, I agree with
I think
you.
they usually go about 4.
I'm a huge fan of Gary's, but I can't watch Friday Night Tights anymore because I don't know half of the stuff they're talking about. I really don't. So I'm not really. I do like YouTubing and streaming stuff, but social media, I'm hardly on Twitter. Sometimes I'm on Facebook. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it's getting way too ugly out there.
Yeah,
Way too ugly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. I mean, I Gary's awesome. I like him. Well, and part of the thing is, a lot of the people, I don't even know who they are.
Yeah, same here.
And that's okay because I'm like I said, they deserve all their success. I just don't. Well, I don't like people being mean.
I don't mind if they're mean if they got their tongue firmly in their cheek, like the drinker and stuff like that. I don't mind that at all because I think it's entertaining. So I don't mind that. It's just I understand why they do it as well, for the clicks and for money, because it's their livelihood, and you can't begrudge them that.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. When I watch it, sometimes I'm like, who are these people? I don't understand. And the humor is I don't understand what they're talking about. So that's because I'm not really up with everything. Movies I'm up with, but nothing else. So there you go.
Well, things have changed. The sphere has changed. The people have changed, and people's come and gone. It's not. In a way, it was maybe the good old days back around 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
When, it was just a lot more fun, I guess. Smaller. A lot more fluid. But I'm happy that I've kept a lot of these friendships. I mean,
yeah, same here. Yeah. I do like a Casino though. I always try to watch his channel, even though sometimes I don't understand what he's talking about. He talks about a lot about business and stuff, doesn't he, when it comes to Disney and all that. So, but I still watch his channel. And is his beard getting longer? His hair's getting more grayer and his beard is getting longer for some reason. So sooner or later, you're not even going to recognize him. It's just going to be a full head of hair on the screen when he sees his eyes, and that's it. He really needs to get a haircut, that man. He really does. But there you go.
Well, with that, I got to run. So thanks everyone for joining. I'll be back in 2 weeks, and hopefully a little bit more stable streaming time. So till then,
Right on.
God
Thank
bless.
you, Father.
Well, thank you, Father. I'm glad I was able to make it.
Yeah, I'm glad you could too. And we're heading